Welcome to the Women Today show by Amira. Thank you so much for watching. As always, we're here to inspire, encourage, and motivate you through candid conversations about everyday life. I'd like to introduce our guest today, and she's very interesting, Miss Wandia Gichuru, the co-founder of Vivoactivewear, among many other things. But before I do that, I just want to say, maybe take a minute, like our pages on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And something interesting today, a twist and turn in 2021, we might just have a giveaway this time. So stay tuned. I just mention the giveaway as we continue. So on to our guest, Miss Wandia Gichuru. She is the co-founder and CEO of Vivoactivewear, an African fashion brand that started in 2011. I think I'm right. She's a graduate in economics from Stanford Business School, but then prior to starting her own business, she was employed for over 20 years. Yeah, Wandia is a certified life coach, and among many other things, she participated in the KCB Lions Den. I'm sure if you're in Kenya, you know about it. From our experience and from my perspective of her, she's a passionate, authentic, wise, vibrant CEO who is in touch with herself and her environment. She loves people, but mostly loves her children and her mother. What we love most about her, what I love most about her personally, is that she has come up with a new way of selling clothes in Africa, colors that pop, and of course the fabric that feels very good in your body, and you just feel good. You feel good. You feel nice all day. So So welcome, Wandia.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Women Today show.
Thank you. I must correct one thing you said though, because I didn't actually attend Stanford University. I did a program that Stanford runs here in Kenya.
In Kenya,
called the Stanford Seed Program. It's a program targeting medium-sized businesses that want to scale, and it's an East Africa program. So it was one of the best things I did. One of the best things that you ever did. Okay. 6 years ago. The program's still going on. Anyone who's interested can look on their website and see how to apply and stuff like that. Yeah. But my undergrad was at the University of Western Ontario in Canada, and then I have an MBA from the University of Cape Town.
Okay.
A long time ago, long before I started business. So by the time I was in business, I couldn't remember anything that I'd learned, which is why I needed to go back to school.
Oh yes,
and do that program. And I've done many programs. By the way, I do almost every year. I try and do.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
You never stop.
You never stop learning.
You never stop learning. You have to have a learner's mindset. All the time. It doesn't matter how. Because the world is changing. So even what worked for you last year may not
work this year.
May not work. You have to constantly be questioning. I believe in being a little bit paranoid. You can't be too relaxed.
You can't be too relaxed in life. You never know. That's true.
And last year showed us.
Yes, we'll get to that.
You can have your plans.
Yeah, you can have your plans, and then life comes and it happens.
They say
and there's nothing.
God laughs.
Yeah. God laughs. It's true. So wait, you see, that's the good thing about meeting somebody in person and getting to know their story one-on-one. Because online it said Stanford, but now I see that you've done.
I mean, there's definitely a strong connection because of that program.
Yes.
But there's no way. First of all, I would never have afforded to go to a university like Stanford. So which is why when they come here and they run a program like this,
you run for it.
Because it's like, do you know how people die, and pay so much money to go and do those kind of programs? Okay. So, but when they brought it to Kenya, it's highly subsidized.
Okay. So I'll start with the journey you've had as an entrepreneur, because interestingly, your company have been here just for 30 minutes or so, and it looks like something that was built 100 of years ago, really? Or something. Yeah, like it's a big space. It's nice. It's beautiful. Your brand has grown so much in 10 years. Yeah. But let's backtrack to at the beginning. How did it feel the first time you officially launched your business, and then now you got space at a mall? Like, how was that feeling? You remember how it feels like now?
I mean, not really, because I'm someone who's always like moving ahead and forgets, you know, the details. But I think it was scary to sign a lease.
Yes.
Because, you know, when you go into those kind of malls, you sign a 6-year lease and you commit. The rent is increasing every year.
Yeah.
You have to pay service charge, you have to pay rent, you have to, you know, do all of that. And you don't yet know whether the business can hack it. So for me, that was the very scary thing. Like, I don't like to make a commitment unless I'm 100% sure that I can.
Or that you
can meet it.
You can meet it, yeah.
But it's also, in a way, that's what forces you to work hard, because you're like, you know, I always think people who have no responsibilities are less likely to work as hard. Yeah, but when you have people who rely on you, you have commitments, you would rather, for someone like me, I would rather have a project that I've committed to instead of trying to save just for the sake of saving.
Yeah, I
find that harder. Like, I need to know where that money is going. You know, otherwise I'll be tempted to spend it.
But then interestingly, that's the thing. I read online that you actually saved up and that you use your money, your savings, to start Vivoactivewear.
It's true.
So you had a goal knowing that you're saving and it will be used later for
so so the year before we started Vivo, I had decided I was going to stop working. I was tired. I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted freedom, flexibility, all of that. But I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So, you know, I started saying, okay, let me have a little bit of money, because you can't just stop working and you have nothing.
That's true.
So by the time Vivo was starting, I had saved a little bit.
Saved, yeah.
But that's not typical of my life. That was probably the only time in my life that I saved and, you know, not even knowing where it was going to go.
Yeah.
So when we first started the business, we didn't expect to open a shop, but then very quickly we realized guys still want to touch and feel and try.
Especially if it is something, you know, to do with the clothing you need.
So then after a few months, we were like, let's try and open a shop, and that's when we opened our first store at the Junction. So setting it up was exciting. I mean, I'm quite good at implementing projects. You know, so if there's a project that needs to be done and it's very clear these are the steps, and I can do that.
You can do that.
And, you know, so in the beginning it was just focused on like getting the products, you know, making sure the inventory system is working. How do we design the shop? Although our budget was very, very small. And then day 1 and 2, I was standing in the shop waiting for people to walk in. And
by yourself? Yeah. You didn't
no, I had staff, but I mean, I also stood there because, you know, you're just excited. You're like, let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the first few clients who walked in, I was so excited. And then I was behind the till, I was counting the money. I felt like I was playing Monopoly, like I was putting my 1,000, 500, 200.
You didn't have like an official launch event.
No.
No?
We had no money.
You had no money. You had used
By the way, we have now opened probably 16 stores.
Nice.
And closed 2. So we have 14 at the moment.
In Nairobi?
11 in Nairobi, 3 outside.
3 outside, yeah.
And in all that time, I think we've only had 2 that we did our launch.
A launch, yeah. Really?
You know, normally we're just so hectic and it's just so busy. You just want to open.
Yeah.
Pressure and stuff like that. But for sure, I could not be a salesperson.
Yeah, you think so? You really are.
Struggle.
You sell yourself, actually.
To sell.
To sell the product.
Like to stand there and wait for people to come and then convince them to buy. I'm not good at that. I don't know. It's just. I think you're either natural. You're a natural salesperson.
Oh, you're not. I agree.
I struggle. 100%. Even that thing of money exchanging.
Yeah. So wait, to understand your brand, you have Vivoactivewear, right? So Vivoactivewear has the clothes for ladies. I've seen office wear, maternity, and casual smart, and just a good fit, you know. Then there's activewear for sports, right, as well. But so I really haven't seen that
So it's a little confusing.
Yeah.
So the brand that we have built that started 10 years ago is the Vivo Brand. In the beginning, we called the company Activewear because we wanted to focus on fitness and sports. But over time, that changed. So really now it's just Vivo. Let's call it Vivo or Vivo Woman.
Vivo Woman,
So Vivo is a fashion company for women, and we have a range of different types of clothing, everything from casual to, like you're saying, sort of smart casual.
Yes, smart casual.
Stuff that can be worn on the beach, stuff that can be worn in the evenings, you know.
Yeah. My sister is she right now, she wanted to even come and just hold the camera.
Let's bring her another day. And then over time, we've decided that we should build a couple of complementary brands. Yeah. Because we don't want to leave men out.
Yes.
We don't want to leave out very younger
people,
teenagers in their 20s,
who love the color that you bring.
Who just need good clothes, you know, fashionable clothes, locally made, designed for us and everything. And so we're building 2 new brands, but they all fall under, I mean, it's still the same company. So one is Zoya, which will be athleisure, kind of streetwear. And then there's a safari brand, which will do more travel resort kind of stuff.
Yes.
And then the 4th thing that we have, which we're super excited about, is e-commerce platform for brands.
For brands. So any other brand or
fashion brands, beauty brands, and accessory brands. We love African owned, but it doesn't have to be, you know. We will
so
happily
I can start my own makeup line today and
and bring it to us, and we will help take your brand online. So you can still have your own website if you want. You obviously want to have your own social media platform and stuff like that.
Definitely.
But we will carry your brand on our e-commerce platform. We will create the content for you. So to have a good to sell fashion online, you have to have really good images. We take videos as well. True. You have to describe the product and all the operations on the back end. So I think people, you know, a lot of people do very well just selling off of Instagram and stuff like that. But you will only be known by those who have found you. But if you're on a platform that people
you also do the marketing.
So we'll do the marketing. So people will come to the platform to see, let's see what brands they carry. I haven't heard of that brand. Let me look at it. And then they'll get to know your brand. And what we want to do is to just make sure that we build trust. Because I feel like a lot of people who would want to shop online are nervous. It depends. Because they're like, okay, but that picture I'm seeing, is that really what I'm going to get? Number one. True. Number 2, what if I pay and then it doesn't fit me? Are they going to exchange? Are they going to give me my money back? So we want to make sure that people feel relaxed and learn how to trust. So they're like, but if it's on Shop Z2,
that's trustworthy.
I know that number one, the image is the real image. Because there's sometimes even we've seen Instagram pages where they've used our images of our designs. So I'm like, how is that possible? Like, are they just stealing our image, or have they gone and taken our product? And whatever. And so then to test it, we've ordered. And then something else arrives, a different dress, and you're like, what? Is that what guys do? It's terrible.
It's terrible.
So on everything you see on Shop Z2, we took the pictures ourselves. So we physically had the item. So if somebody is selling this top and brings it to us, or your dress, we will say, bring us the dress. We'll take the image of it, and then either we can warehouse it for you so that we manage all the orders, or you can hold on to it, but when an order comes, you're notified and you deliver it.
Interesting. And then you see, one of the questions I had actually was in regards to doing business online today. COVID-19 also, it came last year, and people were challenged. Some were challenged to either go online and digitalize, their business strategy once again, right? And interestingly, I saw online that you actually had the idea of starting it online, Vivo, before when you started with your house and you were doing all the designs, and then the stuff will be, 10 years ago. And then now COVID comes 10 years later, and you now have to do all this e-commerce and, sell your products online. Well, what did you talk about? You know, there are people who might be watching and they're looking at a strategy of how to go online and do business online. Is it expensive? Is it cost effective long term? And, you know, how has it worked for you? And what advice would you give people right now? Because
I don't think it's a choice anymore. I don't think you can choose to not be online at all. I mean, you can, but I think you'd be shooting yourself in the foot. Because these days, everyone interacts with brands in multiple ways. So even if you're not selling online, you're still marketing online.
That's
so
true.
You still need to have a social media presence. You know, it would help to have a website because people want to understand what's behind the brand. Somewhere they can go and read about who the brand is, who the owners are, or the directors, or or you know who's running it. It is probably the most effective way to communicate with your customers or your potential customers to do marketing. I mean, I don't know about you, but even, you know, when's the last time? I don't really even watch TV that much anymore. You know,
everything
you're probably on YouTube, you're on social media, you're on all these other things on WhatsApp and everything. And so that is where a lot of people do their research. That's where they get ideas from. They see what they follow their favorite influencers. They see what somebody's wearing and they're like, I want something like that.
Something like that.
So you're asking, number one, should you or shouldn't you? I would say 100% yes.
Go online,
But you then have to figure out how much of your strategy is it to be digital first. You know, are you putting the whole digital space at the heart of your business, or is it a complementary thing you're doing sort of around the edges? And I think that in a matter of time, and it may not be today or tomorrow or even next year, but in the next 10 years, more and more and more and more shopping will be online. Because it's just so convenient.
Yes, it's so convenient.
It's convenient. And once people realize that it is being designed in their favor, you know, so in Europe and places like that these days, you don't even pay for shipping. It's so competitive that if a brand wants your business, they ship for free. They have to ship. They have to offer you
but then
there
have to be a hidden cost somewhere, right? Like, well,
I mean, yes, but you know, the cost of the rent when someone has a shop is also there.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So the cost is going to come from somewhere.
Yes, that's true.
There's no free.
Totally free
distribution channel.
So
even now, when you're online, I mean, when you're in a store, you're paying for the rent for the location. A very expensive mall. You do that because you believe the traffic there will be more, right?
Yeah.
So you pay for rent for that. If you decide to come out of the mall and go online, who are you going to be paying? You're paying Facebook. You're paying Instagram.
Yes, that's
You're still
true.
Paying.
You're still paying.
It's just a different version of rent, you know, because you're renting space on their platforms.
Yeah. Okay. And so there's the end product online, right? We have to go digital in both ways. There's the end product. That means you're selling clothes online, the market online. But then there's the other element of digitalism where you use tools, softwares to make your work easier. How has Vivo done that, you know, like in regards to...
So we keep, you know, as the business grows, we invest more and more because not all of these things are cheap, you know. We've learned the hard way. We've made some costly mistakes. These days, a lot of software, you can rent it. So you pay like a subscription. You don't have to necessarily pay upfront like you're buying a car. You know what I mean? So that way, it may look like you're paying more, but you have the freedom to drop it if you don't have to do this huge investment
and there's
upfront.
So many of this
and it's changing
softwares. Yes, it's changing all the time.
So you want to keep upgrading. So we now, I would say, are in a pretty solid space in terms of like we do have strong systems that underpin the business. But you know, even last year through COVID, those are some of the tough decisions we had to make. Because the business was struggling, but we were like, hey, but if we're going to survive, we need to invest more.
You need to invest more
in this digital space, and you know, so that you're able to really, you know, capture your data. You're able to analyze it so that you can make better decisions. So we want to be able to know. So like now, if I get you my phone, I can tell you exactly what has been sold today in every single shop.
Wow, nice. All the data. No, actually,
yeah.
Over the weekend, I was in one of your stores. I saw that you pay now. The payment system is online, so there's a tablet, and I saw the lady putting in something, and
because you also want to see what's moving,
so
what's
the data
is
easy to feed into the main,
feed into the central,
the system,
and then you can say, okay, these styles. We're about to launch this one. Within a few days, we'll know, is this style popular or not?
Yes.
Do we make more? Do we change something? So you need that.
Which brings me to my next question, market analysis. So I like that you do your sales and you launch products and you do everything based on market analysis. And I wanted to ask how you do your market analysis, actually. So,
I mean, it's not an exact science. So we like to test.
Yeah.
So we use sort of a testing approach where we'll introduce something and see how the market responds. So we don't go around asking people, would you like this, yes or no? We actually make some and put it out there and then see the response. And then over time, you start to build patterns. You start to see every time we do it like this,
people like
we
it.
get a good response. When we do it this way, this is, so you have to, so there's a learning that's built into your processes and your systems.
But what about the risk involved? That you might do that and then you launch something and...
But that's what I'm saying. You manage it by you start small.
You start small.
So I wouldn't decide, this one, I know everyone's going to like it. Let me make 1,000. No, because you'll be stuck with 1,000 and what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
So I believe in taking small risks and, recognizing that when you do that, some things will work, some things won't. But as long as you've managed it so it's not too painful, that you can learn the lesson quickly and move to the next.
Okay. Interestingly, I saw one of the interviews you did at, not really an interview, but a snippet of a video, KCB Lions Den, which you're famous for in Kenya about, you were there, wise, giving your nuggets of wisdom and also advising young people, in regards to business. And a statement was recorded of many of you saying, you don't need to sell your equity right now. You don't need to sell your equity right now. I'm curious, what ways or means do you advise young people today to be able to access finance or maybe get capital for their business,
So, okay, first of all, everybody's in a unique position.
Yes, that's
right?
true.
And so it's a difficult thing to give a one sort of answer that will fit everybody. But in general, what I would say is the best way to get money in the beginning, when you're just starting out and you don't yet know how much how much revenue the company will have, is friends and family.
Okay.
That's the best place to start because it's patient.
Yeah. And it's also starting smaller.
And it will be a small amount, I think it's difficult for a small business to take debt. First of all, very few banks will lend.
That's true.
And if they do lend you, they're asking you for a lot of collateral, which you may not have. So maybe it's your parents who have to give you a title of a piece of land or something like that. And can you imagine that you lose your parents' land? You would not feel nice. You know what I mean? And then the interest rates are high. And in a business in the beginning, it's like a baby. It needs to be fed all the time. And if that little money you have is going to pay your interest rather than your company, are you going to be able to invest enough to grow it? So that's why I feel like in the beginning, debt is tough. So you can either take a soft loan from a parent or an uncle or auntie or friends or whatever, or you can give them a bit of shares in your business. Now, the challenge when it comes to more formal investment, like the type that people go on Lions Den to get, is they're going to squeeze you for the best possible return for them. Which means that they're going to try and pay you as little as possible for as much equity as possible. And in that excitement of getting investment, you may give it away at too cheap a price. You may not... the desperation to get that money in the business. So if you're going to do it, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you really need to have a very sober approach to how much you're asking for For
true.
what?
That's true.
What are you giving in return?
Yeah.
And who are you getting it from?
Yeah.
Because it's like a marriage. Except it's a marriage that you know is going to end in divorce. Because at some point you have to split. Like you're going to, you're not going to, probably, it's very unlikely that you're going to be in this business forever together.
Yeah.
So you know you're going in with a plan. In fact, one of the things you must talk about is what is the exit strategy?
Okay.
Because an investor is not coming to you just for fun. They want to get their money at some point. So they're looking, so you should say to them, what is your expectation? Are you planning to be in this business for 5 years and walk away with a growth of 3 times your investment? Like if I've put in $1 million, what I'm hoping for in 3 years from now, I'll have 5 million.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
Either you buy me out again or we sell it to somebody else who will pay me that amount. But there's always something, I think we get excited looking at the amount of money coming in and the shareholding and all of that. But you have to ask the person, what is the expectation? When do you want your money back?
Yes, that's true.
Because they'll always want their money back.
They always want their money back.
And they may want it back sooner than you think. Yeah. And they might have a much higher expectation than you think. So it's good to put all that on the table.
Discuss it before you...
And people want investors for more than just money. Sometimes you want someone because they have a lot of advice, technical knowledge, or they may have a network, or they may have relationships with a bank that could help you, or a supplier, or even a distributor. I remember on the show, often people really liked talking to Darshan because they were like, you sell your Chandaria products across all these big retailers. So if you're one of my investors, can you help me get into Tuskies or Naivas or whatever? Yeah. Because he already has all those established relationships, which is very helpful.
Yeah. Okay.
The other day I went to look at, because we're looking to supply a different brand through a retailer. I saw the line of guys waiting to have meetings. Because everyone's trying to get in.
Yes, exactly.
You take for granted. You walk into Carrefour and you see something on a shelf. It didn't get there by itself. Yeah. That person had to go and negotiate to get that space to put their product.
Yeah, which I think I listened to an interview and you're saying you had to shift as well from business, B2C to now to B2B as well. So I'm sure you get...
That was part of COVID, man.
Yeah,
we started making masks and things like that. It was a whole new world.
It's a whole new world. But how is 2021 looking up, by the way? It's nicer or it's you can still relax?
Gone. Can you believe we're in February?
We're in February already. Yes, January went in a second.
So 2021, we're being optimistic. I think the beginning of a new year always gives you a reason to be hopeful.
Yes, that's true.
You have a whole year.
It's not like the problems of 2020 have really gone.
And promises again.
Yes,
because you've got a whole 12 months to deliver.
Yes.
So we're optimistic. I think the pandemic hasn't disappeared. So we have to still be aware of what's happening. We still have to be careful. Yeah. We still have to protect each other.
Yes, that's true.
But at the same time, I'm hoping for a better year than last.
Yeah, I too am hoping for a better year. And there's a question I forgot to ask you at the beginning. Vivo, why the name Vivo? Vivo is, it's nice. It's catchy.
It is. Unfortunately, a number of other companies are using the same name, so it's not as unique. When we were starting, we had never heard of it before, and we wanted a name that had a meaning that we resonated with, but not a meaning that everybody knows. So that when people hear the name, they don't associate it with something. So it's the same way like Nike. Who knows what Nike means? When you hear Nike, you just think of the Nike brand.
Nike brand, let's do it.
Adidas. I'd never heard of the word Adidas before, So we were like, when people hear Vivo, they should think of our brand. But if they ask, what does it mean? We should be able to have a story for them. So Vivo means alive.
Okay.
In Spanish and Italian, which we thought that was pretty cool at the time. Our new brand, the athleisure brand called Zoya, is Arabic and even can be associated with Swahili, and it means the same thing.
It
also means alive. And then Zetu, Shop Zetu, ours, so it's like a platform for us.
Okay, nice. People struggle out here to get names for their babies, but you're getting the names so easy and they're so catchy, which is nice.
I read an article once that said when you're trying to think of a name for your brand, make sure it's short, easy to pronounce.
Yes.
in any language, you know what I mean? So even a foreigner coming, can be able to pronounce it.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you can make it something catchy, whatever. So I kind of stick to that. So 2 syllables, Vivo, Zoya, you know.
Yeah,
Z2,
I like. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's fast and it's easy. Yeah, I get it.
And I like brand names that start with a consonant, like a Z, you know, like a hard sound. Yeah.
Okay. Z2. Okay. Yeah. Nice. You keep launching and giving names. I know if you name something, you have the power to control it and drive it, and you're doing great. The branding aspect in terms of yourself, like how do you go about branding yourself in business? Because trust me, you're doing a really good job.
What?
You were in the workspace in terms of employment for 20 years, right? But you've come out, and in 10 years, you have achieved a brand for yourself. You're known as a life coach. You're known as a co-founder of Vivo. In fact, that is the first one, co-founder of Vivo. The brand and your face go together. And then you're still, it's not like you hide away. You don't shy away from, you know, giving your opinion, political opinions, and nothing. You don't shy away from doing fun things. You know, I saw you can dance. You know, there's a lot of things you do, and people are always so careful out here trying to maintain a certain brand, a certain look. I wonder how you do it. Like, what advice do you have for branding and putting yourself out
it's
there?
So interesting because I don't think that I deliberately do anything. I don't have a strategy at all.
Okay.
I think my only thing is I try to be authentic. I try to be myself so that I don't have to remember. I don't have to change. You know what I mean? So like if you meet me today and you meet me tomorrow, you meet me,
same person.
You'll meet me, you know. So I'm not like, okay, this is me at work and then this is me at home and then this is me when I'm in front of a camera and then this is it's just who I am, number one. Number two, I try not to I'm not a very politically involved person, but I care deeply about this country.
Yes, you do.
And I don't necessarily want to be aligned to anything other than like what is best for Kenya.
For the country, yes.
What is and from a business person's point of view, from a mother's point of view,
that's sweet.
From a patriot citizen point of view. You know what I mean? So I would never want to get involved. I would never want to campaign for anything.
Politics or
you know,
nothing,
but having said that, you must take a stand. And I think when you have any sort of a platform, it comes with responsibility to
That's so true.
To be part of the conversation.
That is so true. Yeah, you're part of the community. I mean, it's it's expected. Yeah.
But having said that, I mean, 99% of what I post is either about Vivo or, like you said, about my mother or my daughters.
Your daughters, and you love them so much. And then, what's your why today? When you began Vivo, your why was different, definitely. 10 years later, what's your why?
What's my why for Vivo?
Yes, well, yourself and Vivo.
Okay, it's hard to answer for myself. Let me think about that. I think, I mean, I'm not somebody who thinks a lot about legacy and all of that stuff because I'm not sure that it matters. I mean, I think we're gifted. Life is a gift.
Yes.
And I believe that God made us because he thought we'd enjoy it, because he wanted us to enjoy the experience of being alive, of growing, of learning, of evolving, of connecting, of appreciating everything that is around you. Even the tough times, because it's the tough times that make you really appreciate the better times, you know?
True.
So for me, my why is always to just live my life as full and as generously and as grateful as I can, you know, like don't take it for granted. Don't take a single day for granted because you never know. And I think, you know, year after year, you'll repeat that lesson is thrown in your face again and again, you know. And if you're anything like me, I mean, anytime I lose a friend or a friend's family member dies or something like that, you know, you cannot go to a funeral and not walk away saying, I have to think about, you know, life is important. Life is precious.
That's
you know, I want to get out of there and immediately call my mom, you know, and just Stella, I love her, because you never know.
Yes.
So that's my why. Of course, I also have goals. I want to see my children sort of grow into responsible, mature young women who, you know, that kind of thing. But for the business, I think the why has changed a lot over time. And I think when we first started, I just, you know, we were all about fitness and dance, and I just wanted people to be excited, healthy, happy. And then it started moving into more regular clothing. And at that point, it was just like, we want women to feel good and look great and feel good about themselves, like embrace their beauty. It doesn't matter what size you are and what age you are, you know, just be confident, own yourself. And so we just wanted to be part of that. I think now I'm just, I feel the fashion industry has so much potential, and we haven't even scratched the surface. Historically, because of the way that, you know, the country has evolved, unfortunately, it is dominated by imports.
Yes, that's true.
You know,
that's
so a country of 50 million people, we all wake up and get dressed every single day. Yet, what are we wearing? Are we wearing? And I understand that it's not in everybody's position to buy expensive things, and so of course we have to look at all of that. But I believe that there is enough talent, there is enough capacity in design, in manufacturing, in marketing, in styling, and all of that, in retailing, for us to be able to offer a far wider range of amazing local brands.
Yes, that's true.
And when we do that, when you buy a product that was made in Kenya, you are hired, you know, there will be 16 times more people hired. Jobs created by that local brand.
Yes, that's
than
true.
by anything imported. The government is getting 18 times more taxes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So even from a sort of macro point of view, it makes sense. And then from an individual point of view, it's like, why not wear something that was designed thinking of you?
Which I saw actually. I did think of it like that. I kept asking my sister, Vivo's colors are so nice. Like I love color, they're so vibrant. But then I read somewhere that one of the reasons you like bright colors is actually it helps the African color and it helps us pop. Like it's actually a good African skin looks good with bright colors. I was like,
fashion,
who knew that? But
global fashion is designed for a Caucasian skin tone, a Caucasian body size, which is why half the time when you buy something that imported, you'll have to go and adjust somewhere.
That's true.
The waist to hip ratio is different. The colors will be neutrals, navy, gray, beige. I have nothing wrong. Those colors are fine. But most Caucasian people cannot get away with wearing this. It just won't look good on them. So they don't bother making clothes in this color. But if you're darker skinned, you can wear it. So why not?
And
you know what I'm saying? Like we should have no restrictions. And that's why when people are designing for you, you should be able to. This dress you're wearing, you told me was designed for you.
Yes.
When you wear it, it feels like
it feels nice. Yes,
it feels amazing.
It feels amazing.
Because it's you know she measured me and made something
but my size
for
exactly
you,
how
you know, the way you wanted it. And so of course that you can do that when you go to a tailor. But what we're trying to do is meet you somewhere in the middle. Like you know, most of what you'll walk into Vivo and try on, you'll be like, this is perfect. I don't need to. I don't need to adjust it. And we can do that across the range. It's not just so. My excitement now is not, which is why we build shops there too. It's not just about our own brands. We can continue to build our own brands and keep getting more spaces and you know, hiring more marketing people and all of that. But I want a platform that shows all the brands, as many brands as possible, so that those brands also grow and people realize, because like you're saying, it shouldn't be, Vivo's the brand that has managed to do it. Why?
Yes, I get
Why?
you.
There's enough space.
There's
a huge, you know, we don't even have 1% of the market.
Oh, really?
No.
Really?
We're a country of 50 million people.
Oh, yeah.
Probably we have 20,000, 30,000 clients.
I get,
Yet in our market, those who can afford to buy our products, there's at least 1 million.
Yes, yes. And what about, okay, we are in Kenya. Kenya is part of Africa. Yes, yes, yeah. So we're in Kenya. Kenya is part of Africa. And I love Pan-Africanism, a vision for Africa.
Yes.
Is Vivo looking at also going beyond just Nairobi, Kenya, and
absolutely.
the regions, but then also, you know, Rwanda? I love
Rwanda right now, we already supply a retailer in Rwanda, so you can buy Vivo products in Kigali.
Yeah.
And that's easy because we have a trade agreement within East Africa that allows us to move product without worrying about duties and things like that. Unfortunately, once you go outside of East Africa, it gets very complicated and very expensive.
Very expensive.
So if I want to bring a Nigerian fashion brand to Kenya and I want to do it legitimately, I want to like fill out all the paperwork and do it properly, I will pay 35% tax even before it's hit the ground.
What?
And then now you have to do your markup. You have to pay for shipping, you have to pay for duty, you have to pay for VAT, you have to pay for insurance. So by the time that thing has landed, if that dress was 5,000 shillings, it has cost you 10,000.
Yeah.
So what are you going to sell it for?
Yeah, you know, you can't keep adding your prices in different markets.
This is a real issue, and I feel this Africa Free Trade Agreement is we cannot need it more. Like it needs to start, and it needs to be operational quickly. I know they've signed, but when will it be operational? So that we can start trading, because why are we, it is easier to bring from China than from Nigeria. Why?
It shouldn't be that way. And you know, I feel like,
do you know how beautiful they have such nice leather products, handbags, shoes. I would love those things to be sold here. And let us take our things and sell them there.
On the other side, yeah.
We should see ourselves as one big market.
Okay. And in terms of planning, because that's now tied to the question I wanted to ask, planning your business for the future, you know, you can't just think of now, okay, I started a business today, and then the growth at the end of this year or this month should be like this and this, and projecting your growth. How do you do that, and how do you advise people? Because, okay, there'll be the natural causes like COVID came. That's a future that you can never oversee, really. But then there are those, I don't know, how do I call it? Like there are things you'd look at in the market, and you're able to project the future, and you're able to plan and say, today I start here, but in 5 years I need to be here. In 10 years I need to be there. How many things that I need to do before I get there? Is it possible to do that in Kenya right now? And
I mean, look, I think no matter what, I mean, unless you're in a very short-term business, if you expect your business to survive, you want it to grow, and you have a longer-term plan, then you have to have some idea of where you're trying to go. And there are different levels of that and different timelines. So we have our big vision, you know, like where we hope to be in 10, 15 years from now. That's more lofty, it's big, ambitious, you know, whatever. But then we'll do, on an annual basis, we might do like a 3-year plan. And the third year is a little vague, like you have some numbers, but you know, you don't know exactly how you're going to do it, but you have a direction. But definitely for the year that you're in, you must have a very detailed plan. Because you have to, I mean, and again, it all depends on the way you're set up, but in our case, we have to prepare a budget. We have to estimate how much money we expect to bring in and how much money we expect to spend, and how we're going to do that. How are we going to reach the top line? How are we going to get those revenues? And then for what you're going to spend, you have to justify why is that necessary? Is it, you know, so there's some fixed costs, you know what your payroll is, you know what your rents are, but you also need to invest. You want to invest in technology, or maybe you want to, you know, you might need to buy a new delivery van or whatever your needs are. But it's good to have that overall sense, so that you're not just spending. Because every other week there'll be someone who needs something. And if you had no plan, you don't know whether that was already included or is that extra. Having said that, so I think it's very good to have a plan. And it's good to sort of put a budget and all that.
Yeah.
But having said that, you also have to be quick to respond as things change.
Yes, that's true.
We had a plan last year, a very beautiful one. We knew we were having an amazing year.
Yeah.
We were going to grow 50%. We were going to open stores here and there.
Then comes March lockdown. Nobody's going out. Nobody wants to buy new clothes.
And so overnight.
Yeah.
And that was extreme. So hopefully that doesn't happen every year.
We hope.
Even then, there will be things. So I believe in taking advantage of opportunities when they come. So, for example, I want us to expand to Uganda. It is in the plan, but we don't have a very specific date or whatever, because also it depends. Will we find the right location? It's not just anywhere in Uganda, you know what I mean, or anywhere in Kampala. You want to know that you found the right location,
where there'll be traffic.
You might be looking for a local partner, because if you're not there yourself, you need somebody who understands the local business. You know, you need to know what the budget will cost you to do all that. So you may have this idea, and then suddenly, who knows, maybe next week I'll meet somebody and they'll be like, what? You mean you want to go to Uganda? Let me tell you, come, I show you. And they show me the perfect thing. And I'm like, okay, forget everything else. Let us fast track and jump on this one, because it's one of those that if we don't take it now, it will be gone.
To be gone. Yeah.
So you can adjust your plan. It's not like you
have to be uptight, and
you don't have to be that rigid, because that's not life.
Yeah, that's not life. But then I feel like young people, like me, we start businesses. After a short while, you want to stop because it didn't work in the first few months, first year, 2 years.
Can I tell you my guess? A lot of young people are very impatient.
Yeah.
Very impatient. They want it like this.
Immediately. Profit should start as soon as,
It doesn't work like that. You're lucky if it does.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you reap the benefits over time. Rome wasn't built in a day. You know,
that's true.
You're looking at me, talking to me. We've been doing this for 10 years now. That's a lot. That's a long time. You know, and you definitely want to see progress, but you should be modest in what you're prepared to, and also be willing to put a lot of that back in. It's like a tree or seeds. You have to keep watering. They're not just gonna grow on their own. You know.
I agree.
So, yeah. I mean, my advice to a lot of younger people is, now is the time. You have the energy. You may not yet have the commitments. You may not have children, school fees, and you may still be living at home. You can afford to work hard and not take too much out.
Not too much. Yes.
You can keep putting it back, and really growing the business, and making sure that you're having fun along the way, because if you're enjoying you're more likely to stick around.
Yes, that's true. Do you wish you started sooner? Like, okay, not sooner, but you wish you started, like, you quit work earlier and started the business as soon as you could have.
You know, I think that
like
everything you are experiencing right now is because of everything that has ever happened to you. And if you took any of that away, you wouldn't be you.
That's true.
Do you see what I'm saying?
100%.
So you would not be having this conversation with me if you had not lived in Rwanda and you had not had that experience.
Yes.
And being in a society which really looks at women and empowerment. You know, so that is what motivated you. So when you ask me that question, I'm like, because I don't know that it would have been me sitting here talking to you.
To you, if
I had tried to do it sooner. So maybe there was an experience I had in year 17 of my career that actually has helped me solve a problem last week.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
I don't have regrets because I'm happy where I am.
You are, and you really are.
I think that's true for any of us. Like, if you like who you are and you like where you are, then you could never be there if it hadn't been for everything you've experienced.
Okay, and you don't look a day over 50. I mean over 35. Like, you know, and I know that you are above 50. How do you do this? Like, how? How do you keep up?
Well, thank you, number one. I'm not sure if I agree with you, but I'll take it as a compliment. I think age is a number.
Yeah.
and
you have so much energy.
I love young people, so I spend a lot of time. I have friends who are in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s.
Yeah.
So I don't think because I'm in my 50s, it means that I have to now behave a certain way. Of course, I have to be respectful. I'm a mother. I have to not embarrass my children, although I embarrass them all the time.
And I'm sure they tell you that.
They're like, Mom, please, man, stop it. You know, we go to a supermarket and a song comes on. I start dancing in the aisle, and they're like, oh, God, I want to see somebody we know. But yeah, I mean, I'm always inspired. Yesterday, I was reading an article about a woman in her she's 70 and she looks younger than me. I'm like, okay, that's my goal, you know? So there'll always be people who inspire you to stay young. And I think staying healthy is a really important thing. So I try to exercise, watch my diet, you know. But I think a lot of people, and I would say my parents' generation was like this. Like they deliberately started acting differently as they got older.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, you know, now I'm like this. I have to
dress like this.
I have to dress like this. Like I can't wear shorts.
Yeah, I can't wear short things.
Like,
I have to wear long things.
Why?
Oh, now I don't have to put on my hair like this. I like the way you braided your hair.
No, but you see what I'm saying? Like you should act how you feel.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't yet feel that old. Yeah. So why should I start acting?
Please don't. Please don't. And wait, you like to read, and I like that about you. What are you reading right now?
Gosh, at the moment, I must say that I have been bad. COVID really messed me up. I think I was so anxious for so many months that I found it difficult to read books. I was reading a lot of articles, magazines, and a lot of things online, especially to do with like business and how to protect your business, how to, you know, manage in these uncertain times. So I have 2 books on the side of my bed. One is called Essentialism, which is about how to simplify your life.
Nice.
And you know, be very clear about what's important.
Yes.
And focus on those things, because it's so easy to get kind of distracted by the noise. So many
things,
you know, and it's like, does it really matter? You know, so I think it's about how to keep, you know, even things like how much you own. Do you need to like hold on to too many things? I mean, I'm looking at this bookshelf and I'm like, do I really need all those books? Maybe I can give them away. Because, you know, someone else might use them better than you. And then I also have Obama's book.
Yeah. Which one? The recently launched one?
His latest one.
Yeah,
so
nice.
I've only started.
I haven't gotten my hand on it, but I look forward.
Those are the 2 books on the side of my bed. And I hope in the next few months I'll find my way through them. But these days, I mean, when I'm super tired, I come home. I'm more likely to put on Netflix than to read a book.
Yeah, it's okay.
My mom and I, you know, she started watching Bridgerton.
I love Bridget. Oh my gosh, you had to mention that.
And my mom is like,
it's a
my God, am I too old to be obsessed?
No,
she's
not at all.
She's like, I don't think, she's like, you know, she's 82. She's like, Wandia, I don't think I've seen a man that handsome.
In her entire life at 8.
She went to Senegal last year with a friend of mine, and she came back and she's like, I saw the most beautiful
man ever.
Man in Senegal, a tall, dark man, and he smiled from here to here. She's like, I thought I was seeing an angel. I've never seen anything so handsome. And now she's like, this Bridgerton one is coming close to that one. They're competing for the
I appreciate your mother. And well, so your daughters also want to start a business. Are they into nice clothes and they want to start a business or continue with it later? Or they're like, no, Mom, we'll take another path.
I mean, they like the fact that they can get new clothes. They're always like, what have you brought for me? You know, whatever.
Oh, sweet.
But I don't think they've decided what they want to do yet.
Yeah.
One is 15, one is 16. They're both doing business as a subject.
Oh, nice.
In school.
Practical
which
things.
I think is so important, because a lot of people go into business and they don't know the basics, you know? So I think it's very important. I think everyone should do a business entrepreneurship type program. Because even if you end up being a doctor, you might still run a practice and it's still a business.
It's still a business,
You know? But so they're sort of interested, but I wouldn't say they're like...
focused in it. Yeah. Okay, I can go on and on and on because it's so easy to talk to you and you have so much to say and so many things to say. I look forward to Vivo leading in Africa, like all over, like not just Kenya. You know, it can go to all these new malls being launched and you can get into all these cities. To be nice, I'll be very happy to say I know that lady behind it. I was so happy to see your clothes going because they are really nice. And something I like also when you get to your one of your stores, you're so keen to detail and you really want to serve your customers better, because I noticed this is feedback, I guess. I'm just saying it, but then the dressing rooms are nice, clean, the lighting is perfect, then there's also changing sandals, you know, the small things that you really, the little things, so you don't really have to step on the floor.
And that's really the sales team more than me. I told you I'm not good at sales, so I'm not always in the shops, but the team that's out there, I mean, they really try to make every customer feel comfortable, feel at home, feel welcome. So they're always coming up with ideas like that, like, oh, I think we should do this and add that, and your staff is also very up to the task. Like, they really love it, because there's a lady, I don't know, I didn't get her name, but she was very nice at Sarit, and you can tell, like, it's not that they're being forced to sit there, and no, they love it. They enjoy being at Vivo. They love when a client comes in. They get so bored when there's no one. So they see someone walking in, they're like, oh, you know. So that's nice. Thank you for that feedback. Of course, we still make mistakes, but I love to hear about it, because that's how you learn.
Yes, that's true.
You can't assume everything is always going to be right, you know. So we're constantly trying to improve, and when we mess up, we try and take responsibility. Apologize, try and rectify the situation, make up for whatever.
But keep doing what you're doing. Young ladies like me look up to you. And
by the way, a lot of what you're saying, I can see you also do it.
Oh, really?
Because I can see you've really done your homework. You've read, you've listened, you've prepared. Because there's sometimes, you know, you meet someone for an interview, and they're asking exactly the same things
that have been
and you wonder, like, did they do any research? But I think you really done. So I can see you take your work very.
Thank you. I do. I love Women Today Show. I love it. I love what I do. And so
what motivates you? To do this?
Are we changing
why not? For the last
are we changing the script? Yeah, so what motivates me basically is just being able to motivate, inspire, learn with other young people. So I am a young lady. I want to be mentored and coached, and I want to know these things. And I can as well approach you and write you an email and say, Wandia, I have a question about this and this and this. And to your delight, I know you'd respond because you're very lovely. But then what about other people who don't have that? How does a voice get to them? How do they get to see this? Also, the social media space has a lot of content and influencer marketing, and there's so much going on. But then we forget the right things, to focus on the most serious things. We are now influenced by so many things and so many people, and
but a lot of it is just
at the surface. You forget to get to the real nitty-gritty details of what makes life, and advice. You need advice. You don't know where to get it online, and it's someone you can relate to because you're in the same country, in the same region. Nothing. Like, there's just so much, and people are focused on. I just try to make the focus and inspire and encourage, motivate, and be a voice of reason, and try and bring so many young people to also know these things. Let's be enlightened. Let's go out there. Let's do it. There's a lot more about women today, but that's the one thing that really keeps
thank you
me.
For doing what you do, and for encouraging and putting this kind of content out there.
It's necessary. So keep doing what you're doing. We look up to you. We actually have so many of us looking and saying, wow, if I want to start a business, or maybe one of my friends wants to do this in the future, or maybe they want to work or see, there are many things that they want to be in the space that you're in. They want to know what it entails and how are these women who are out there doing it. The more they see other women doing it, the more
true. And I think, like I said about that thing about responsibility, and I think it comes with experience, it comes with age, it comes with opportunity. And so, in my career and my experience being in business, I've had a lot of opportunities, and it's like, that gives you, the more you know, the more you owe. You know,
That's
and
true.
the more that you can
So
share.
true. Yeah.
The good, the bad as well, you know. So it's not always easy. It's not. It's you know, people say business is blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
2020 showed us the sweat and the tears and the blood and everything. But it's a journey. It's like motherhood. It's a journey that you rarely regret.
Yeah.
You know, people. There are times even being a mother. I don't know if you're not. Are you a mother?
No.
But there are times when you're a mother where you're like, oh my God, am I cut out for this? Like, this is beyond.
No, but there's something you once said that
yes.
you know, women carry the burden of so many things, and we try to be perfect.
Yes,
but it's really it's really difficult. You can't be perfect.
You can't.
Yes, so you
and
try
you also,
to.
But even with all the challenges. I've never heard a mother saying, I wish I'd never had children. Like, and you know,
I get you.
They'll always say it is the most difficult job, but it is my most rewarding job I've ever done.
Yes.
And in a way, business is like that as well. It is a difficult thing, but it can be the most rewarding, and you know, even with all the challenges. But it helps to have these conversations, to look for advice, to get a mentor, to get a group of peers. I believe a lot in peer coaching.
Yes.
So when I did the Stanford Seed program, 3 other participants, we formed a group. And it's an obligatory part of the program. For 1 year, you have to meet every 6 weeks, and you just talk about your issues.
Okay.
That was 6 years ago, 5 years ago. Do you know we still meet?
Oh, nice. It was supposed to just be 1 year.
It was 1 year.
But then
we just continued and we have never stopped.
Nice.
We don't meet every 6 weeks. Now we meet about every 3 months. But we still have those conversations. And because we've gotten to know each other so well, we don't waste time. We give each other real advice and real feedback.
I love
you know?
that.
So someone says, they might be complaining about something. You're like, okay, you've been complaining about the same thing for a year now. It's enough.
Keep it
do some, you know,
on check.
So you can have that very open, honest. You hold each other accountable. And then when someone's feeling down, you can remind them how far they've come. Because they're discouraged. There are days you're so discouraged.
There are days, yes.
And you want
days
someone who can
you need
tell
the pat on the back.
Remember.
And
Because you can forget. Do you know how far you've come? I mean, you were telling me about this office space. We moved here 2 years ago. I can't remember where we were before, but the people who came where we were before, and then they come here, they're like
what?
You've really taken, you really expanded. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. So you need that. You need that encouragement. So well done, and I hope your business continues to grow and thrive, and may millions of viewers come across this continent.
Across the and actually the vision is to go across the continent. So thank you, amen. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I had mentioned that we'll have a giveaway at the end of it, sponsored by me. But then what we can do is you share the video, share as much as you can. Remember to tag Women Today Show on Instagram, on Facebook, and also remember to tag Vivo, the Vivo Woman, Vivoactivewear. What's your
Vivo
account?
Woman.
The Vivo Woman, yes. On Instagram, share it as much. You can tag Wandia, you can tag, share, and stand a chance of winning a voucher from Vivo. I promise you.
It's not on you, it will be on me.
It will be on. Oh, thank you.
So what we'll do, we'll give 2 vouchers, one for Vivo and one for Shop Zetu.
Shop Zetu.
Which Shop Zetu will allow you to buy from any brand that you want. Vivo, you would only buy from Vivo.
From Vivo, yes. But Shop Zetu, you can buy from any other brand.
So there'll be, men. By the way, men can also win a Vivo voucher and buy for the woman.
Yes, that's true, yes.
Mother,
actually, it can be a
sister,
Valentine's.
Wife,
we can do that for the Valentine. Valentine's is coming up,
so... And then you can buy for a woman, you can buy for a man, you can buy for a kid. We have for everybody.
That is so nice. Okay, I'm happy. Now I'm even more than happy to tell you guys. share as much. This is a
So you'll pick the winner.
I'll pick the winner and I'll tell you, yes. And then we can organize for the winner. You pick your voucher and And yeah, so thank you so much. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you have any questions for Wandia, if you have anything you'd like to know, please also share that feedback. You can share, tag us, you can comment on our YouTube platforms, inbox, DM, and we'll see how to reach out to her for you. So thank you so much, and till next time, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was lovely. You're so nice to talk to. I would sit here all afternoon.